I saw a woman learning patience, waiting on a late night train, and rehearsing apologies he'd never say again. A kid pretending not to notice his father shaking hands. Life was happening everywhere without a master plan. A couple fighting over nothing because something's hard to name. Two old friends sharing silence like it's calling out their names. Every face a small confession, every step a private war. Funny how we pass each other like we're not carrying more. From the other side of the street, it all looks so clear. Everybody's brave in public, everybody's scared in here. We're all just walking stories, trying to feel complete. I learned that watching life from the other side of the street. I saw hope tied up in schedules, dreams postponed with care, love reduced to small talk so nobody has to stare. I saw kindness miss its moment by a second or a fear, and regret arrive exactly when courteous disappears. From the other side of the street, we all look so composed, but I've never met a soul who didn't crack when they were close. If mercy is a mirror, then I finally can see I'm not just watching life, it's watching me. Maybe we'd be gentler if we knew how much invisible weight everyone's walking through. From the other side of the street, I don't judge the pace, I don't know the battles behind every face, so I lower my expectations and widen my grace. I stop watching life and step into place.
I don't ask the night for answers, I just let it say my name. Some truths don't come in sentences, they come like gentle rain. I used to feel the silence like it owed me something back. Now I leave a little space for what I lack. I watched the world explain itself until it sounded small. Heard certainty speak louder than the things that call. But the older that I get, the less I need to know. Some wisdom doesn't push you, it just shows. If I'm quiet, I'm listening, not lost, not afraid. I'm learning how to hear the things that never shout my name. I don't need every answer, I just need to stay. If I'm quiet, I'm listening. rush the morning anymore or fight the dark at night. I've learned the heart can carry both the shadow and the light. I don't beg for reassurance or proof I'm on the way. Some roads reveal themselves when you stay. If I'm quiet, I'm listening, not giving up, not gone. Some lessons only show their face when everything is wrong. I don't need to be louder to know where I belong. If I'm quiet, I'm listening. Maybe faith isn't certainty. Maybe it's remaining still when the world keeps moving and you choose to feel. If I'm quiet, I'm listening to the life I'm in, to the ache that made me careful and the hope that let me begin. I don't ask to understand it, I don't ask it to stay. If I'm quiet, I'm listening.
There were 7 minutes before the truth showed up. 7 minutes of pretending we were still in love. You stirred your coffee slowly, like the cup might speak. I memorized the way your hands avoided touching me. Outside the window, life was being kind. People laughing easily, like they had more time. I wondered how the world kept moving, so unaware that something sacred was ending in a folding chair. 7 minutes that I wish I could keep, not to change the ending, just to feel it deep. Because once the words are spoken, there's no rewinding truth. There were 7 minutes where I still had you. This isn't working, like it was weather or fate, like love just quietly expires if you wait long enough. I nodded like I understood, like I'd been here before, but my heart was still unpacking what you came here for. 7 minutes between the lie and real, where hope was still breathing but starting to kneel. I'd live my whole life over if it meant I knew how to stay longer in those 7 minutes with you. Tickety slide back to stake to 7 minutes 7 miles 7 minutes 7 miles
We learned how to speak in armor before we learned how to cry. Learned how to win an argument before we learned how to try. They taught us how to measure words in numbers we could prove. Nobody taught us how to sit still with something true. I see children wearing grown-up eyes like they've already failed. I see laughter used like currency so nobody gets nailed. We call it being realistic, we call it being smart. But realism never built a thing that could hold a heart. Everybody learned too fast how to hide, how to cope. We built houses out of answers and forgot about hope. We learned the cost of everything, but not the why. Everybody learned too fast how to survive. I miss when silence wasn't awkward, when we didn't fill the air, when saying I don't know yet was something we could share. Now every pause needs a headline, every wound needs a plan. We traded wonder for control and called it being a man. But something in me still remembers slower days. Everybody learned too fast how to stay composed, how to turn their open questions into something closed. We stopped trusting the process, started trusting the light. Everybody learned too fast how to get by. Maybe growing up wasn't growing wiser. Maybe it was learning how to quiet the fire. Everybody learned too fast, but I'm learning again how to sit with the questions without racing the end. If there's courage in unknowing, I'll give it a try. I won't learn too fast how to survive. Some things need time to teach you. You didn't meet me at my worst. You met me holding it together. I trimmed the truth to fit the moment, dressed my damage for the weather. I was careful with my laughter, I was generous with space. I gave you the version of me that knew how to stay in place. You saw the parts that function, you loved the parts that tried. You never heard the late night thoughts I kept just to survive. I wasn't lying when I smiled, I just wasn't being whole. There's a difference between being seen and being known. You fell in love with the version I could afford to be, not the one that wakes up shaken from remembered grief. If you'd stayed a little longer, if I'd let you in, you might have loved the broken parts instead of who I'd been. I learned how to edit history before I learned to heal, how to make pain sound distant so it didn't feel so real. You thought my calm was confidence, my silence was my peace. But calm is just what panic learns when it wants to sleep. You fell in love with the version that didn't ask for much, that never flinched at tenderness or froze beneath your touch. I don't blame you for leaving, I blame the lie I lived. I showed you who I could be, not who I was. Maybe love requires witnesses, not just belief. Maybe healing starts the moment you stop performing relief. Let me be. You fell in love with the version that kept the door half closed. If I meet you again someday, I hope you meet me whole. Not stronger, just honest, not braver, just true. A version that can stay with you.
Used to think the song was everything, the sound, the fire, the proof. Didn't know the space between the chords was doing most of the truth. I chased a noise like meaning lived there, like louder men more alive. Didn't know the quiet was waiting with a sharper knife. I watched the world learn how to shout before it learned how to feel. Everybody's playing something, nobody's listening still. We stack our lives like instruments, all tuned to different fears. Funny how the loudest moments disappear. It's the silence between the notes that tells you what's real. It's the breath before the truth that decides what you feel. Not the crash, not the flame, not the part you quote. It's the silence between the notes. I met love in an unfinished line, a pause I couldn't explain. It didn't sound like romance, it sounded like rain. I met myself in the waiting, not the rise or fall. Turns out the space I tried to fill was holding it all. You don't hear meaning, you notice it. It's the silence between the notes that carries the weight. It's the moment you don't rush that decides your fate. If the song ever breaks you, or the crowd explodes, listen closer to the silence between the notes. Maybe truth doesn't arrive when you expect. Maybe it shows up when you stop next. It's the silence between the notes that stays when songs decay, when the record stops spinning and the feeling won't play. If you're listening for answers, you've already missed the code. It was always hiding in the silence between the notes. Most people hear the song very few hear what it's saying. I learned early how to listen, more than how to speak, how to hold a room together by choosing what to keep. There were questions in my pockets I never laid on the table. Some truths don't ask permission, they just wait till you're able. I smile through conversations like they were weather passing through. I let people finish sentences I knew weren't true. I wasn't being dishonest, I was being kind. There's a difference between silence and leaving parts behind. So I kept the quiet, like a promise I once made, not to hand my softest thoughts to a world that sharpens blades. I kept the quiet, not because I didn't care, but some things only stay alive if they stay there. I watch louder hearts get praised for bleeding in the light, while the ones who carry depth learn to travel light. They called it being distant, they called it being cold, but you don't lock the door on winter, you protect the gold. I kept the quiet when the noise was all the same, when shouting felt like currency and truth felt like a game. I kept the quiet so I could hear myself breathe. Some truths don't want a crowd, they want belief. Maybe one day I'll speak it when the world slows down, when listening means presence, not just waiting for a sound. Till then I'll keep the quiet, like a flame behind my ribs, not hidden out of fear, but because of what it is. I kept the quiet so it wouldn't break apart. Some songs are only music in the dark.
Taking wrong turns on purpose, just to feel the ground change shape. Some roads teach you patience, some only teach escape. I watch the lights of better lives disappear in rain, learn
learned the difference between healing and just feeling less pain. I used to think the answer was waiting down the line. Someday I'd arrive whole if I just gave it time. But time's a river, not a door. It moves whether you're ready or not. So I started walking with my questions and carrying what I've got. I'm still walking home with dust on my shoes, still learning what to carry, still learning what to lose. I don't know if I'm forgiven, I don't know if I'm free, but I'm closer to myself than I used to be. I've met people who outrun their shadows and people who became them instead. I've seen love turn into memory and memory turn into death. Some nights I talk to silence like it knows my name. Some nights I forgive myself just to sleep again. Sleep again. I just need to see that the road still recognizes me. If home is where you stop pretending, then I've been getting close. Every step I take with open hands costs the most. I'm still walking home, not the same as when I left, but every scar is evidence of something I survived. I don't need to be finished, I just need to be still walking home. I watch doors close politely with a smile and a lock. Watch forgiveness get measured by the weight of the talk. I've seen people turn their backs just to save a little face. Funny how love needs courage, but pride needs space. I used to keep a list of names I'd never call again. Used to draw hard lines
lines in ink I couldn't bend, but life kept rearranging who I thought I was. Turns out grace is heavier than justice ever was. There's still room at the table if you're hungry and honest. If you're tired of pretending you don't feel what you promised. You don't have to be blameless, you don't have to be brave. There's still room at the table for the ones who stayed. I've seen apologies arrive years too late to lend. Heard I did my best from an empty hand. Some wounds don't close with words, they close with time and touch. And sometimes showing up is already enough, enough, enough. There's still room at the table, pull a chair, sit down. You don't have to explain why your faith broke down. Bring your doubts and bruises, bring your borrowed shame. There's still room at the table. We saved your name. If love is a language, I'm still learning the tone. But I know it sounds truest when no one eats alone. There's still room at the table for the slow and the scarred, for the ones who tried softly in a world that went hard. I don't know all the answers, I don't need them explained. There's still room at the table. Stay. The house is quiet in a good way, like it finally learned my name. All the noise I used to chase doesn't sound the same. I don't need a perfect ending, I don't need a sign, just something honest to remember when I rewind. I've loved in every language, I failed in all the right ways. I've learned the weight of ordinary and the mercy in the days. Nothing here is borrowed, nothing here is fake. This life might not be louder, but it's mine to take. If this is how it ends, ends, I'd call it fair. If this is all I get, I was there when the song goes quiet and the lights turn low. I'll smile and say, yeah, play it again tomorrow. I don't need the world to clap now. I don't need the proof. I've made my peace with who I was and who I grew into. Every scar became a rhythm, every loss a tone. Turns out all I needed was a place to call my own. I don't rush the silence anymore. If this is how it ends, I'm not afraid. If this is all I get, it was well played. Let the needle find the start again, let the memory glow. I'll smile and say, yeah, play it again tomorrow. Maybe life isn't meant to be louder. Maybe it's meant to come back around. Again. If this is how it ends, I'd do it twice. I choose the hurt, I choose the light. When the final note fades and the room feels warm, I'll smile and say, play it again tomorrow. Ooh. Ooh. Some lives deserve a replay.
We said it lightly, like it didn't weigh a thing. Nothing serious, just a harmless little fling. We laughed about the future, like it was far away. Like hearts don't make decisions long before they say. We kept it casual, like a coat you borrow once. Said we liked the freedom, didn't need it to be much. But I noticed how you lingered when it was time to go. Funny how the body knows what the mouth won't own. It was nothing serious, that's what we agreed. Just two people passing time, not planting any seeds. But something grew in the quiet when no one else could see. Nothing serious, just a small catastrophe. We joked about emotions like they were out of style. Used irony for armor and sarcasm for a smile. Every line we wouldn't cross, we drew and disappeared in ink. Every time I said I'm fine, I stopped myself from thinking I'm fine. It was nothing serious, just staying in our lane, not confusing comfort with something you can't name. But I still feel your absence in ordinary things. Nothing serious, just everything. deep goodbyes, but even borrowed moments leave fingerprints behind. It was nothing serious, at least that's what we said, but I replay our conversations when I'm alone in bed. I don't miss forever, I don't miss destiny, just the way you matter, casually. Nothing serious.
I used to lean on every answer like it owed me something back. I chase certainty like daylight, running circles in the dark. I tried to brace for every end, tried to outrun every fall, but the ground kept teaching lessons I couldn't dodge at all. I mistook tension for direction, noise for being alive. I thought strength meant never bending, just pushing to survive. But the storms didn't ask permission, they just showed me where I'd land. Turns out balance is in motion, it's learning how to stand. I learned how to stand when the wind didn't care, when staying upright meant staying there. I stopped waiting for rescue, stopped bargaining plans. I didn't conquer the world, I learned how to stand. I watched louder voices fracture under weight they couldn't hold. I watched quiet hearts endure things that never made the news at all. I stopped needing to be chosen, stopped proving I was right. I chose to be present in my own life. I learned how to stand without armor or pride, without hiding my fear or selling my time. I don't need to be fearless, I just need to be here. I learned how to stand and stay clear. Stability isn't stiffness, it's knowing when not to move. It's trusting your way on the ground you choose. I learned how to stand when the path disappeared, when forward meant facing everything I feared. I don't need the whole answer, I just need my hands on the life in front of me. I learned how to stand. Some moments blur like photographs you never really kept. But there are things that linger long after people leave. Not the drama, not the ending, just what they gave to me. I don't carry every failure like I used to do. Some lessons taught themselves after I was through. I stopped asking why it ended, stopped counting what was lost, started noticing what stayed, despite the cost. It's not who walked away from me that taught me how to stand. It's who stayed gentle when they could demand that I change who I am. It's not the love that left me that defines my history. It's what stayed with me. I remember someone listening without trying to fix, someone letting silence sit without calling it thick. I remember being trusted with the truth that wasn't loud. Those moments didn't save me, they taught me how. It's not the pain that shaped me most, or the nights I couldn't sleep. It's the grace that found me anyway and asked nothing of me. I don't count my scars as trophies or my losses as defeat. Count what stayed with me. Time doesn't heal by erasing, it heals by rearranging the weight. Some memories loosen their grip when you stop calling them fate. So when the story tells itself and the chapters disagree, I won't ask who should have stayed or who left prematurely. I'll thank the hands that held me when I couldn't see, and honor what stayed with me.
Yeah, oh, yeah. We danced around the fire like it owed us something back, laughing at the warnings, scratching lines into the black. We called it being fearless, we called it being young, but some of us were burning before the night had begun. There were stories in the embers, there were ghosts inside the heat. Every step a small decision, every rhythm incomplete. We weren't looking for the ending, we were looking for a sign. But fire doesn't speak and answers only time. We danced around the fire, never asking if it spread. We mistook the light for safety and the warmth for what we said. We danced around the fire till the sparks got in our eyes. Some of us learned to leave, some of us learned to lie. I saw courage turn to bravado, saw love turn into a dare, saw truth get dressed in shouting so nobody had to care. We called it freedom, singing with our hands up in the air. But freedom never promised us it would be fair. Hey, hey, we danced around the fire with our shadows growing tall. Every promise felt eternal, every ending felt too small. We danced around the fire till the night began to thin. Some of us stepped back in time, some stepped in. They said burn bright, they didn't say burn slow. They said live loud, they didn't say no. Burn bright, burn slow. Burn bright, burn slow. We danced around the fire, now I know what it can do. It can warm you, it can mark you, it remembers you. So if I circle the
We didn't mean to grow up. It just happened in between the waiting rooms and weekdays, in the spaces we've been seen. We traded dares for deadlines and names for last names. Learned how to answer questions without explaining. Someone's kid looks just like you, from the way they roll their eyes. Someone's house smells like Sunday, and a life you recognize. We joke about the old days like they're safely put away, but they still knock at random hours just to see if we'll stay. We didn't mean to grow up, we just stayed too long in the middle of the story where nothing feels wrong. Now the punchlines hit different, the nights end sooner too. We didn't mean to grow up, but here we are, you. We used to say forever, like it was a location. Now it sounds more like a favor or a careful invitation. Some dreams didn't die, they just learned to bend. Some friendships changed addresses and called it when. We didn't mean to grow up, we just learned the rules, how to look like we're coping while breaking our tools. But every now and then, when the night feels new, I see the kid I was still in you. Maybe growing older isn't losing the spark, it's learning how to carry it through the dark. Still here, still here. We didn't mean to grow up, we just stayed alive long enough to learn what matters survives. If I forget who I was, remind me to. We didn't mean to grow